In today's story, we examine the heartbreaking and senseless murder of 32-year-old Kate Beegley, a woman whose life ended after what should have been an ordinary first date. A night that began with hope and excitement would unravel into a tragedy that shocked the entire nation. Kate was known for her warmth, independence, and steady character. Born in Hounslow, West London, she worked as a national compliance manager at Centrica. It wasn't her dream job. She had studied tourism and hoped to travel the world, but she was respected, loved, and always dependable. Despite her demanding work schedule, she made time for friends and nights out. Like many people in their early 30s, Kate was looking for a meaningful relationship, someone she could build a future with. She had no idea that the person she would meet on a night out in May 2007 would be the man who would later take her life. Late one evening in the West End, Kate and her friends visited the CC Club. There, she met 27-year-old Carl Taylor. Carl was charming, confident, and seemed easy to talk to. He worked part-time as a fitness instructor and volunteered coaching children. To most people, he appeared friendly, charismatic, and harmless. But Carl had a darker side. He was emotionally volatile, shifting quickly from joy to tears to anger. He had a previous criminal history for dishonesty and had once threatened to jump off a bridge. Still, none of that was visible the night he met Kate. The two exchanged numbers, and their conversations continued over text. For nearly 2 weeks, they grew closer and decided to meet for their first official date on May 30th. Kate finished work, went home to get ready, and told her family and friends she was excited to see Carl. She drove her silver Volkswagen Golf to meet him, and together they headed to Richmond. Throughout the evening, Kate kept in touch with her friends, letting them know how the date was going. They sat on a bench overlooking the River Thames, but the easy chemistry they had at the club was suddenly gone. The night became awkward. Carl seemed self-absorbed and arrogant, talking mostly about himself. Kate was polite, but disappointed. She texted her friends privately, explaining the date wasn't going well. When they examined the security footage, they saw Carl Taylor getting out of Kate's Volkswagen, filling it with fuel, and paying with her credit card. Kate was nowhere in sight. They later stopped at the Roebuck pub, where Kate ordered an orange juice since she had work the next day. By 10:30 that night, she told Carl she needed to head home. From her point of view, the date was over. But Carl had something else in mind. The next morning, Kate didn't show up for work. Her colleagues immediately knew something was wrong. She was always reliable, and she had an important meeting scheduled that day. She didn't answer her phone. Her family rushed to her flat and found it empty. Her car was missing. After 24 hours of no contact, Kate was officially reported missing. Police quickly learned that the last person to see her was Carl Taylor. When they contacted him, he initially sounded concerned and cooperative. He claimed that after the pub, Kate dropped him at a bus stop and drove away. That, he said, was the last time he saw her. But Carl's story began to unravel. Detectives spoke with his mother, who revealed that Carl had arrived home in a silver Volkswagen Golf, the same model Kate drove. She had never seen the car before. Carl brushed it off with a quick explanation and handed her some gift cards he said he found inside. She also saw him thoroughly cleaning the car, especially the boot. This immediately raised suspicion. Investigators reviewed CCTV footage and checked Kate's bank activity. They found that in the early hours of May 31st, her card had been used at a petrol station. When they examined the security footage, they saw Carl Taylor getting out of Kate's Volkswagen, filling it with fuel, and paying with her credit card. Kate was nowhere in sight. When confronted, Carl's attitude changed. He shut down, answering every question with no comment. He was arrested on suspicion of kidnapping and later murder. Then, unexpectedly, Carl confessed. He told officers he had planned to steal Kate's car. He admitted that he had brought a weapon hidden in the sleeve of his coat. After the date, he pretended to lose his keys and led Kate back toward the bench by the river. There, he attempted to force her to hand over the car. What happened next was brutal. Carl attacked Kate with the weapon. She suffered 31 stab wounds. After the killing, he washed her body with bottled water from her own car in an attempt to remove his DNA, placed her in the boot, and drove away. On June 4th, just 5 days after Kate disappeared, Carl led police to Oxay Woods, a remote wooded area. There, they found Kate's body, stripped of her clothing and left near thorny bushes. The brutality of the attack made it clear this was no accident, no struggle gone wrong, and certainly not the self-inflicted injury Carl later tried to claim in court. With overwhelming evidence, CCTV, forensic findings, his own admissions, and testimony from his mother, Carl Taylor was found guilty of murder. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 30 years. He showed no emotion as the verdict was read, but the cruelty didn't end there. From prison, Carl sent a letter to Kate's father, Alan Beegley, pretending to express sympathy while shifting blame and portraying himself as a victim of life's hardships. It was another disturbing example of his narcissism and complete lack of remorse. Kate's family, friends, and community held a candlelight vigil to honor her life. Her father spoke tearfully about memories of Kate as a little girl and the pain of knowing he would never see her fulfill her dreams or build the life she deserved. This tragedy serves as a devastating reminder of how quickly trust can be exploited and how easily a kind, hopeful person can cross paths with someone hiding dangerous intentions. Kate Beegley was a bright, loving woman who deserved so much more. Her life was stolen by someone who saw her not as a person, but as an opportunity. May her family find peace, and may her story serve as a reminder to stay aware, trust your instincts, and protect your boundaries. Stay safe, take care of yourself and those you love.